Hey, how's it going, folks? Today we're going to be watching Tex playing his infamous Hive Tyrant versus the mech boy of Deimos. And I feel like my mic positioning's slightly off. Alright, adjustments have been made. Nope, wait, we're still making adjustments. Okay. So honestly, going to be a little bit tough for Tex, I think, this one. Fighting against a mech boy who's able to pass all the impassable terrain on this map with his teleport so easily, and take advantage of the garrisons is a pain in the ass anyway. But even worse when you're playing Tyranids and you don't really have very good anti-garrison. Remember, Tyranids relying on Spore Mines or the Barb Strangler Warrior Brood for their anti-garrison. So I'd have to imagine we're going to see the Barb Strangler Warrior Brood, but do you know what that does? Well, that just lets the Orc get Storm Boys with their power melee jumping. And that's going to be difficult for a Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. But in fact, we're getting the Spore Mines. But it's a lot of requisition up front, that. 100 requisition. That's why we're not seeing any power node, though he probably can get one now. He can get one now. So I'm not sure exactly what Tex is waiting for there. A bit of a miss micro. Sluggers and Shooters been together here will easily make work of the Hormagaunts. Hormagaunts don't even want to fight Sluggers 1v1, really. Unless the Sluggers are busy capping instead. Oh, okay. Interesting. Honestly, not really sure the last time I've seen this. So Spore Mines are going to be used quite aggressively here. But without the support of the Hormagaunts, it feels like a waste. Hormagaunts are going to come in. Do they get a second detonation off? I don't think they did. And with the double War here, buffing the damage of both these boys, yeah. Not even a win for the Hormagaunts. Wow, the Sluggers didn't even lose a model. Oh my god, that is such a good engagement for Deimos. 3 Hormagaunts down and 100 requisition and 5 power wasted on the Spore Mines, basically. And he's going to get his power node decapped. Terrible. But he is putting pressure on this side. Hive Tyrant might have brought that cover there by trying to do a bit of harassment. But Termin gets protected by the Synapse of the Hive Tyrant there, taking less damage than they typically would. And this, of course, is part of the reason why you go for this 2-2 build with the Hive Tyrant. You have innate Synapse from him. A good little enfilade of fire there for the Termagants against the Sluggers. Caught them out of position quite badly there. Interesting to see a Pain Boy. Not the Storm Boys that I was referencing, but it kind of makes sense because he's gone for the double Sluggers, so he wants to support them in big brawls, and he doesn't need the Storm Boys with their jump because there's no Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. A lot of damage coming in there for the burners. Really, you have to appreciate the damage on the actual burners themselves. Quite good against Gaunts. And then their power melee to beat up everything else. Beat up the commander armor, beat up the heavy infantry armor of warriors. Now, you would typically have expected to see something like Raveners, especially against the quantity of melee that's on the field right now. Even Barb Strangler Warrior Brood would be quite good, but it would kind of justify Deimos going for an even heavier tier 1 and grabbing some Storm Boys, so maybe not. But I would have expected to see Raveners. They're really fast. They can burrow to help you win melee fights by knocking over the enemy while your Horms are eating them, and they've just got good burst damage. Because of their speed, they're really good at moving in, shooting melee, skirting away, and just kiting them. But we're not seeing that. We're seeing a third Hormagaunt, which I find rather odd against 5 squads of Gaunts. Oh, I was going to say, I would be getting the electric armor, so Deimos made a little bit of a mistake here because perhaps he preemptively got the battery pack, but I find it a little bit odd. That's generally better with the Storm Boys because Storm Boys have more HP than Sluggers, so it's easier to get big heals off prior to the Storm Boys losing models compared to Sluggers, and you've already got the Pain Boy heal to heal up the Sluggers. But you see the double heal going on there. That was the first one that was used initially, and this is the Git source from the Pain Boy right now, and you can see the Sluggers just so tanky, tanking all the damage, didn't even lose a single model there. Beautiful stuff from them. You probably want to be getting the Crippling Talons in your Hive Tyrant here to help influence these melee fights. It also gives him an escape from combat if ever he finds himself surrounded by melee, having committed a little bit too much. He can use that ability, disrupt them all, and then retreat safely. But yeah, I'm not sure about this. It was effective in that engagement, but you know, the mech boy will be able to put on a tremendous amount of pressure with his electric armor against all these squads, and electric armor does basically full damage in retreat as well, so 5 squads of gaunts. If you're not going to get electric armor against 5 squads of gaunts, when are you going to get the electric armor, you know what I mean? But we've got some big shooters on the shooter boys. We've got a big shooter on the mech boy. And doing pretty good here to force off the nids. I don't really understand Tex's build, it's a bit of a meme. Same as unfortunate there not to kill this boy. Seemed like all of them shot the same boy and somehow he didn't die. Very lucky there for Tex. But economy's pretty even for both the players here. I mean, look at this, they're literally on parity here with their power. But Deimos has a better income, so he's pulling ahead now. Interestingly, in spite of the lack of population, there will be a fair bit of upkeep here, because gaunts are very expensive in terms of upkeep because they're so cheap in population. You know, there's 5 squads here, but only 40 pop versus the 50 pop instead that Deimos is having to contend with. Painboy is helping him out quite a lot there, being quite a cheap unit, not high in pop cost. And that is part of the advantage of the Painboy. He doesn't have the upfront DPS that a Stormboy squad has, and he actually has less HP as well, but he's preventing bleed to your allied units, and he's helping them scale. He gives you CC in tier 2 with his unstable fuel. And he, most importantly, has very low pop, so he ends up costing very little upkeep. But yeah, we do see Stormboys, a 5th unit for the Orcs here. It's quite typical that you will see Orcs going for very long tier 1s and getting to tier 2 after the Tyranids. And that's fine, because the Tyranid threats in tier 2, well, they're not really that big of a problem. You know, what's he going to get? Tyrant Guards, and he certainly could get a lot of them as a Hive Tyrant. But ultimately, Sluggers with their Slugger Knob, and Stormboys with even just their boy choppers, but also with their knob, they can do quite well against Tyrant Guards, so sometimes you accept it. But this is a beautiful timing push here from Tex. He's committing quite deep to this one because he has the Brood Nest there, and you can see it's allowing his Hormiguns to reinforce in combat. No Crippling Talons again. I really feel like the Crippling Talons would have been worth it here. Deimos actually accidentally overwatching a second Stormboy. Oh no. Oh, this could really screw Deimos up. Tex got a pretty good push here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get all the gens. This is a lot of Stormboys jumping in right now, compromising these Termagants. It seems there's no Crippling Talons available. Sorry, Crippling Poison. Needs his Crippling Talons. He did actually use one of the Crippling Poisons there, but Stormboys rightly focusing down that Brood Nest, and a beautiful timed Battery Pack heal there from the Mech Boy. Don't forget, Battery Pack heal not only is a good heal for the Stormboys, Deimos just going to let that Stormboy die. I guess that was intentional. There is the Seismic Roar from the Rending Talons. I was calling it Crippling Talons, I don't know why. I get very confused with Wargear names for Tyranids. That's the first weapon for the Ravener Alpha, I believe. So Tex will finish this off, but check it out. You had Burner Sluggers from Deimos on the sidelines take out this gen farm. Now Tex is replacing it. He's already got one gen here, so he obviously seen that, and he considered, okay, I can't get anything there. I'm just going to seed it. I'm going to build on my secondary power farm, and I'm going to go tier 2. But it feels kind of meh for the reasons I said before. It's not like you can just get out a fast Razorback and dominate the Orc infantry with it. But even furthermore, there is a general lack of power income here for Tex right now. He's pretty out of power, spending 25 on the Rending Talons. Wow, he's going to lose his Homers here as well. Committing too hard there. Homers not with their adrenal glands, not that powerful. And these, of course, are level 2. Going to be level 3 soon. Slugger Boys with their Burners. So Burners, you know, they get that extra AoE damage when they're running into combat, but they also get the extra 20% HP per boy when they have this upgrade. So your Homers are going to really struggle. They need the adrenal glands to fight them. Even then they'll lose, but obviously the reason Tex took that fight is because he had Termagant support. Bit of a scary situation for the Sluggers here. You've got Seismic Roar potential in retreat. Oh, Tex missed it. Doesn't even matter, he's going to kill the sluggers anyway. Oh my god, this is crazy. I mean, this is what happens when you've got orcs and Tyranids fighting in melee. You're going to get a lot of squads dying left and center. These are the two highest DPS factions in the game, remember? Tyranids have the highest DPS per pop, and orcs have the highest DPS per model. Another nice heal there from the Pain Boy. Where's the Pain Boy? He's over here. I didn't even see him there. Keeping the Storm Boys in play, but the beautiful thing here is that the Storm Boys and Sluggers, as they level up, get really, really powerful, because eventually you're going to get the Knobs, and then when you get leveled up Knobs, they just do crazy, I mean Knob Leaders, that is, on your Storm Boys and your Sluggers. They do crazy amounts of damage. Wow, just killing the Mech Boy as he was trying to get inside the garrison. There was a capillary tower built there, presumably to build Spore Mines in case that Mech Boy did get in the garrison prior to the Hormagaunts finishing them off. The Hormagaunts would have loitered in the area, waiting for the Seismic Roar Hive Tyrant to arrive and back them up. Crippling Poison, slow the Sluggers down. Now you walk into them, Seismic Roar them. Yeah, they've got to flee. Oh, he goes and gets the Spore Mines anyway. Could send them to the Gen Farm, they'll do a bit of damage to the Gen Farm. It'll also be good if any melee units are trying to cap this point. The melee unit can't just sit there. They'll have to chase the Spore Mines down and it will delay them decapping the VP. Remember, if you buy the Spore Mines out of the tower in tier 2, they only cost 50 requisition. Which is really nice because it helps Spore Mines stay in play. If you had to always buy them out of the base for 100 rec, you'd never get Spore Mines after like the first engagement. You wouldn't do it. Unless you were fighting actual melee spam. As in, not, you know, like triple sluggers or quadruple heretics or something. It's too dear, but getting them at half price from the towers in tier 2, it helps them stay relevant. But this is a good counter. Just use your Mech Boy. He's very mobile and he's a single entity as well, so he doesn't really care about being exploded by the mines. But here comes the Knobs. Knob Leader here for the Sluggers, Knob Leader for the Storm Boys. Pain Boy coming up in the rear for support. You got the battery pack heal. Note the HP on the Sluggers right now with 7 models, and it just means that it's a free meal for them with the battery pack heal. Beautiful stuff. And this is kind of the problem I was anticipating. Tex went tier 2, he didn't replace his gens. He's been running off this 1 gen on the secondary power farm for a long time, and he's been in tier 2 basically for ages now. I wish I could tell you a specific time, but we don't have that. Hopefully we will get an in-game timer soon, TM. And he's not really been able to exploit the fact that he's been in tier 2 for so long because of that lack of power. Even though Tyranids are generally regarded as a faction that doesn't really rely on power that much in tier 2, you still need some. And he's really had none. And now, you've got a Death Dread coming out for Deimos, so this is a pretty bad spot for Tex. He is up in the VP game. I like that he chose to retreat there. There was definitely no point staying in. He's not really going to get much done other than perhaps getting a little bit of chip damage onto the Pain Boy. Question is then, what's going to happen with this Death Dread? Probably going to see some Venom Brood to counter it. It's a bit awkward for the Hive Tyrant because he's already got a weapon upgrade, so it feels very inefficient to spend all your resources to get another weapon upgrade on him. But just relying on a single Venom Brood is going to be pretty tricky to deal with a Death Dread when you got the Storm Boys going around as well. I mean, the Death Dread itself, of course, could just rampage onto the Venom Brood. But then you've also got a Mech Boy that can teleport in and disrupt them. You've got the Storm Boys, which can jump on them. But what are you going to do? Get a Venom Cannon on the Hive Tyrant? Probably not. You need the anti-melee right now, because these guys are running rampant on the front lines. It's really unfortunate for Deimos that he did lose that other Slugger, but honestly, if he didn't, this game probably would be over. Okay, he's going to try and fight it in melee, I guess. Here it is. The answer is apparently a Tyrant Guard. So this got built basically instantly, so that means it had to have come from the global bar. So you get a little bit of a price discount there. But more importantly, you get the Tyrant Guard on the field nice and fast. Tyrant Guard for now. Whilst it's got multiple opponents nearby to it, it should focus on the Storm Boys because it will bleed them. And that will hurt the Orc economy and slow them down. If the Orc can get to tier 3 here and start pumping out looted tanks, then the Tyranid is pretty screwed. because the Tyrant Guard obviously not able to do anything against a tank. In a 1v1 duel, the Tyrant Guard will beat the Death Dread, but the problem is the Death Dread is way quicker, so it can just disengage basically whenever it wants. And the burners from the burners and bits are going to cause a lot of problems for the Gaunts, especially the Termagants, because they don't have melee resist, unlike the Homers who do. So you can see there was a little bit of a tango there between the Tyrant Guard and the Death Dread. I feel like Tex's micro could have been, sorry, Deimos' micro could have been a little bit faster there in getting the Death Dread away and not taking a duel or a trade with the Tyrant Guard, but it is what it is. So he's lost, what's that, about 1/3 of his HP. He's got 2/3 remaining. Now, he does have the Mech Boy to repair. God, both of these players have got a tremendous amount of red. Look at the red that Deimos has. My God. Literally using Swampum here for the +1 speed to get away from that Hive Tyrant. But given how much red he has, honestly, I can't even blame him. And Deimos is going tier 3. Mana Faith did purchase a Venom Brood, so he's going to be able to zone the Death Dread quite well right now. You then use the Tyrant Guard near the Venom Brood to protect it if the Death Dread goes into melee. But right now you would expect that Stormboys would just jump the Venom Brood, and then the Death Dread is free to incinerate these Termers. So yeah, that forces off the full retreat from the ranged forces of the Nids here. Tyrant Guard is busy healing up, but you've got the heavy melee of the Death Dread and the Stormboy Nob, both of whom will be able to threaten the Tyrant Guard even though it's in shield wall. Remember, you get the vehicle armor when you're in the shield wall, so don't really care about the sluggers, but yeah, this is hurting. Tyrant Guard is getting torn to pieces right now by the Stormboy Nob and the Death Dread. Mech Boy conveniently repairing the Death Dread whilst it is stationary, doing its Tyrant Guard slaying duties. But where is the Venom Brood? The Venom Brood is coming down the left hand side, and this is terrible positioning here from Man of Faith. Kind of screwed by this narrow passageway out of his own base here. The Sluggers and the Stormboys able to solo this army quite effectively, and there goes one of the Venom Brood, killed by the power melee shank of that Slugger Nob, and that is going to be a lot of synaptic backlash. What does that result in? Dead Gaunts everywhere, Burners doing a lot of AoE damage, poor micro from Tex not moving his Termagants fast enough, but actually they are going to just survive. You've got the Hive Tyrant in retreat, still rocking just his Rending Talons. We've not really seen any good seismic roars. I will say part of the power of that ability though is the mind games that you can play with it, the bluffs, the fact that the enemy doesn't want to get near you when you've got it, and the fact that you can pull off a lot of damage in retreat. So Deimos might stay here, but he's only got the Death Dread now, so his effective damage is a lot lower, and I don't think he can actually kill this Tyrant Guard. He could if there was nothing nearby to it, but he's not going to have the time due to the Venom Brood shooting in. So the Tyrant Guard is going to live just about. Probably going to get that out of shield wall now and get back to the base and heal it up properly. Quite amazing, honestly, that Man of Faith managed to save that one. I don't really know how he did. The problem for Man of Faith is that now he's going to have to contend with a looted tank, but he is the Hive Tyrant. So he could pick up a Venom Cannon on the Hive Tyrant himself, which would be quite useful. He's got fire on the move, and unlike the actual Venom Brood warriors, you can't suppress or knock over the Hive Tyrant when he's chasing after you with his fire on the move Venom Cannon, which makes it a pretty damn nice tool. Where is the Seismic Roar? Let's see it. There is a Seismic Roar there. It does its job. A little bit of disruption, but it's not really doing much damage to these very potent Orc melee units. Level 4 on the Sluggers right now. They've got a pretty tremendous amount of HP. Nearly level 3 on the Stormboys too. Well, the Hive Tyrant needs to get out of there. God, he might go down. Wow, look at the damage on the Hive Tyrant. Oh, bit of a miss micro there from Deimos. Didn't turn his Stormboys around to kill the Hive Tyrant, but it doesn't even matter. And the Hive Tyrant going down causes backlash onto the Hormagaunts that were trying to help him. And they nearly get wiped too. Looted Tank probably going to kill... Oh my god, the Looted Tank kills that Hormagaunt squad as well. Yikes. Oh, that's not good. Tex uses his global to call down another Tyrant Guard. The other Tyrant Guard never got up and went to base. It's literally just sat there in shield wall. Still not fully healed. That's what I'm saying. It would have been faster to take it to the base. It was on exceedingly low HP at that point. And so he uses the global to get another Tyrant Guard out, and he purchases manually another Venom Brood. So double Venom Brood, double Tyrant Guard, but he's fighting a looted tank. And if you look at Deimos' resources, he has a tremendous amount of red. So that means he has the ability to use rocks. Maybe even 2 rocks at this rate. You could get a lot of red in this matchup. And I'm not really hopeful for Tex in spite of his VP lead that he's got right now. So 268 to Tex, 124 for Deimos. Deimos has still got the advantage of the mobility of his mech boy itself. We're seeing the first Ripper swarms now coming out for Tex. Not a lot of ranged threats, so the Rippers not as relevant as they normally are. Rippers are very good if the enemy has a lot of ranged units. You just send the Rippers in first as a meat shield, tie up the enemy ranged. But against melee units, they don't really do anything, so you're just feeding the enemy with free XP. There is the rocks. He jumps his Stormboys into the rocks. That was rather odd. But one of the rocks lands quite good on the Venom Brood. Is it actually killing any models? Somehow it's not killing models. What the hell? Oh, wow. Yeah, got them both. Got him right at the end there. So that's one of the Venom Broods falling. But there is a second Venom Brood. I don't know if Deimos seen that straight away. He has realised now and redirected his Death Dread and his Slugger Boys over there. The Tyrant Guards are sauntering very slowly in the direction of the Death Dread. Can they take it out? It's got 20 HP and the Death Dread is going to keep moving. Pain Boy plus the Looted Tank's probably going to take out the Hive Turret. Remember that chopper on the Pain Boy does actually do a little bit of damage over time. Another Looted Tank shell, boom, kills the Hive Tyrant. Synaptic Backlash onto the Termagants. Death Dread lives with just a sliver of HP. And look at this, absolute carnage. Fet's taken out right in the end by the Tyrant Guards, but there's literally nothing left for Tex's army at this point. He's just got a Venom Brood with a single model back at the base. Rippers that can't really do anything against a Mech Boy chilling in a tower. Looks like the Mech Boy also finished off the Hormigaunt squad that was sent over here to disrupt him from capping the VP. But yeah, Deimos' economy would just roll on. He's got level 4 Sluggers, he's got level 4 Stormboy. He's got a Looted Tank that doesn't really have any counters and can just chase down these Tyrant Guard with ease. And ultimately, you get that late game 1-2. He's going to get the Looted Tank, and that's the 1. And then the 2 is the Nob squad. And Deimos already is dominating the melee game, even without a Nob squad with Pain Boy support. So, nice to see the Pain Boy putting in work. Level 4 Pain Boy. How often do you see a level 4 Pain Boy? It has been quite some time since I've seen that. So there you go. I guess that's part of what happens when you get that Tyrannid Orc melee brawl. Hope you enjoyed that one, folks. That's going to be all from your boy Torpid. This time, I am signing out.